our law firm. I need her. She's going to be with our firm. I didn't want her in front of your camera. I'm just letting you know who she is, okay? Thank you. Robert.
Is everybody set? Okay. Good morning. I'm Attorney Ben Crump, along with Attorney Brad Gage, Attorney Chris O'Neill, Attorney Jasmine Mines, and Attorney Vince Hughes. We have the honor of representing the family of Robert Adams. He is affectionately known as Rob amongst his family because we have his father here, Robert Adams, and we have his mother, Tamika Develia King, and we have the Adams family and the community standing in support and solidarity to get justice for Rob. Justice for Rob. Justice for Rob.
Justice for Rob.
Make no mistake about it. This isn't the first time that we have seen them unjustly kill a young black person. Attorney Gage, they shoot first and they ask questions later. This is a classic example of shoot first and ask questions later. But not only did we witness that phenomenon, what we witnessed was a young man unnecessarily and unjustifiably being murdered. I mean, it's the most cowardly type of murder. To shoot a person in the back multiple times. Why is it the police think the most dangerous thing in America is a black man running away from them? I mean, how do you say he's a threat running away from you? He's trying to get away from you. They come up with these subjective fears to try to justify the unjustifiable acts of killing us. Not just here in San Bernardino, not just in Los Angeles, but all over America. We see them shooting unarmed young people in the back, running away. And then, after they assassinate our body, Bishop, they then, Najee, try to assassinate our character.
Yes, sir.
They go say all kind of lies and innuendo to say, hold on, Rob wasn't worthy of respect. He wasn't worthy of your consideration. He's not worthy of humanity. Well, we want you to know that Rob life matter. And our black lives matter.
Yes, Rob life matter.
You look at that video, and it's troubling on so many levels. Not just the fact that when they engaged him, they rolled up Mr. Adams like they were about to jack him, that they were going to rob him. They were in an unmarked car. The witnesses said there was nothing that identified them as police.
Not at all.
And yet, they get out shooting.
Shooting first, ask the question.
You know, we see young white men who are confirmed mass murderers. And you don't see the police get out and just start shooting. But when it's a black person who they have no evidence killed anybody, they just start shooting. How can you explain that, San Bernardino? You just start shooting.
His name is Rob, not Robert, Rob.
And how do you do that, San Bernardino? I mean, and they not only shot one time, they didn't just shoot two times, they did not shoot just 3 times. They did not just shoot 4 times. They did not just shoot 5 times. They did not just shoot 6 times. But the witness said they shot over 7 times. Just emptied the clip in his back. I mean, you see him running away, he keeps shooting. Why would you do that?
He came to kill.
And so that's why this family and this community is devastated. Devastated.
We want answers, San Bernardino.
Sure do.
And then you see on the video, and they keep trying to explain it away. He's face down. Obviously, you shot him multiple times. Then they put him in handcuffs.
Justice.
And then they grab him by the arms with the handcuffs. Then they grab him by the legs. Why didn't you call 911? Why didn't you try to preserve his life? Why would you take him and move him?
The paramedics was there. Why he wasn't worked on?
It's very troubling on many levels. We know there's video that exists. We want to demand transparency because we want answers, but make no mistake about it. What we are demanding and what we're going to get is justice for Rob.
Justice for Rob.
You're going to hear from my most able co-counsel based right here in California, has done a lot of work against the San Bernardino Police Department previously. He knows where a lot of the skeletons are buried. And he's going to talk to you about some of the inaccuracies that he denoted along with Attorney Chris O'Neill in the press release from the San Bernardino Police Department. You know, it's kind of funny to us as in the black community. When they have a video of us doing something nefarious or wrong, they say, you don't have to say no more, just watch the video. But when we have something with them doing something wrong, like shooting a young black man multiple times, running away from them in the back, then they're going to go say, oh, no, we got to explain this. Don't believe what your eyes show you. We got to try to tell you what you should see. Well, don't say no more, San Bernardino. Just look at the video and acknowledge for yourself what this police officer did was wrong. There's no justification for it. And so we're going to hear from Attorney Gage, then Attorney O'Neill, and then you will hear from Tamika, who's going to talk about her baby and how devastating it was to her because she was actually on the phone. She doesn't believe he had a gun in his hand. She believed that was a cell phone. And don't go for the trickery. Don't fall for the okie doke, as a lot of the family have been saying. They put a gun out there and say, oh, this is what we found. Take our word for it. And they don't have where you can see what's in his hand. But what we do know, Attorney O'Neill, is that Tamika was on the phone with Rob. And she didn't even get to tell him goodbye and I love you because she heard the gunfire. She heard the shots in rapid succession. And then she never heard her son's voice again. And so, you know, don't let them try to say everything is justified, just take our word for it. No, as a community, we want and demand answers. Not just here in San Bernardino, but people are watching this video that has gone viral now all across America. And if they don't do right by Rob, then those people are going to come and join the Adams family and demand justice for Rob. And so please give your full attention to a great lawyer who we're fighting in Beverly Hills for them arresting black people for being black in Beverly Hills. He has a long history of fighting for the rights of people who don't have a voice to give them a voice. Attorney Brad Gage.
Thank you, Brad. Right, Brad.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to be here with you representing the Adams family and working with Ben Crump and Chris O'Neill. If you look at the press release put out by the city of San Bernardino, not only does it have false information in it about Rob's history, but they forget who Rob was. Rob was a son. Rob had a family.
Yes, he does.
The family is here.
Yes,
We are.
The family loved him.
We love him. Yes, we do.
The city of San Bernardino forgets that. And that is wrong. We're here because we want to see justice, we want to see reform, and we want to ensure that there are no more black men shot in the back without justification.
Amen.
Family destroyed.
The city of San Bernardino wants to portray an image of Rob and forgets the human toll that it's caused. If you listen to what the city says, they seem to make it seem like this is just some black criminal. And he wasn't. He was an honor student. He got 4 awards for his good educational abilities. He had goals. He was going to be a business major. He wanted to go to college and start his own business. They claim that he ran away from them. Yet, when you look at the video, it's like a classic drive-by shooting. It's an unmarked car going slowly. Anybody's going to wonder what's going on. All of a sudden, 2 men jump out of the car, and immediately you see evidence of shots being fired. There's no warning. There's no question what it was. And why were they there? They said that they had evidence of a black man with a gun.
Well, where was black and white?
No other descriptor. There are millions of black men, so any one of them could be a suspect. When you're holding a cell phone, it can look like a gun, especially when you think it's one.
Yep.
If you believe that there truly is a dangerous person, why is there only one unmarked car? Why not bring in several officers immediately?
Yep.
That's it. Yeah, that's right.
You see on the video, after Rob was killed, lots of police. They were available. If they were really afraid, as they claim, why weren't they there? I've represented police officers for 37 years. And I respect the police. I've learned about tactics by doing that. And one of the things that you learn about representing police officers over the years is when they approach somebody, they do it with a position of cover. That means you approach so that the front of your car is facing, so you have a door to protect you. Not the other way around. When you go the other way, you only have one goal in mind. That's assassination. And that's wrong.
That is wrong.
Exactly.
Kill than protect and serve.
No, this appears to be the gang unit that was there, very aggressive. If this was so dangerous, why did only one officer shoot and not the other one? There's no justification for what they did. They claim that they gave warnings, but you've all seen their press release. There are no warnings on those body cameras. They tell you that there's a 30-second delay, but those body cameras were actually turned on while still inside of the car. So that delay was already taken care of. So the warnings are non-existent.
Yep. Tell them.
If the warnings are not existent, then they're lying about that. What else are they lying about? And that is the answer.
They did everything wrong. They did everything wrong.
The whole department behind it.
They started the press release with lies, and they finished with lies by mixing up Rob Adams with individuals called Robert Adams and other family members. Not only does the family have to suffer with the pain of losing their loved one, now they have to see him vilified in the press to try to justify and cover up what is unjustifiable.
That's right.
Yeah.
We cannot allow this to happen. You know, the family hasn't even been allowed to see Rob since he died.
Can't even see his body.
They didn't even tell us they knew he was dead.
Talk about
12
outrageousness.
hours at the hospital.
Nobody.
Talk about a lack of feeling and compassion.
Disrespectful to us when they told us.
You can hear in the background the family is righteously indignant,
Yes.
saddened, and angered by what happened to Rob, and for good reason. It should not have happened. The officers tried to claim that there was a dangerous situation with lots of people in the parking lot. That's not true either. Look at the video. There's nobody there. And where was Rob going to run to? The wall behind him is 10 feet high. Any rational officer gets cover, gets backup, and then you're able to take a person into custody without any harm. So we're here for justice, and we're here to say no more.
No more. No more.
This is it.
No more black men being killed needlessly. No more cover-up. No more loss of family members and loved ones. Thank you.
We want answers. Thank you so much. We want justice.
Thank you very much, Attorney Gage. And it's real profound what Attorney Gage pointed out in refuting the false narrative that this was a highly dangerous situation because they could have controlled the entire situation. All they had to do, if they felt it was a dangerous situation, is call the black and white. It's called the cars so everyone could see that this was the police and not the hit squad. I mean, turn the lights on so everybody, that's how they do in other communities. You have the sirens and everybody knows this is the police, not somebody coming to rob you, not somebody coming to jack you, not somebody coming to do a drive-by on you. And I think, you know, Rob's stepfather, Mr. King, said it best. He said, isn't the job of the police to protect and serve?
Not just serve.
But here, it looked like their job was to hunt and kill.
That's right.
And we want to say clearly to the police, it was not your job to kill Rob. That was not your job. But when you look at that video, that seems to be exactly what he came to do. And so we're going to hear from my law partner, Attorney Chris O'Neill, who was a police officer before he became a national civil rights attorney, and he's co-counseling with Attorney Gage and I to give you a perspective from somebody who knows what should have been done there versus shooting this young man in the back multiple times. Multiple times. Not one time you can say that was an accident. No, they shot him multiple times in the back. There's no justification for that. Attorney Chris O'Neill.
Justice for Rob. 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 Normally, I would say that I'm honored to be here, but I'm actually heartbroken to be here right now. I'm devastated to be here. And quite frankly, I'm pissed off to be here. Once again, having to defend unjustifiable police activity. We can't do it, and they're trying to do it. What I want to point out to everyone today is that video and the information that they released is an absolute treatise on exactly how not to do things as a police department.
Exactly.
That's how you don't do it.
Exactly.
From the very beginning, the roll-up, take a good look at it. And I know many of your questions are going to involve what they've told you, because they've had an opportunity to speak to everyone in the press first, and I know it's coming. But quite frankly, don't believe what your ears are hearing from them. Believe what your eyes show you.
Yep.
This man was running away and was shot in the back multiple times. He was not given the decency and courtesy of emergency medical care in a timely fashion. This family has not received anything in the way of information. And quite frankly, the police are hiding behind a narrative that was created for them by some third-party PR company. And what we're not going to do is stand for it. So as you continue to stand with the Adams family, make sure that you remember this. That could have been your child. That could have been your brother. That could have been your father. No justice?
No peace.
No justice?
No peace.
No justice?
No peace.
Thank you so much, Attorney O'Neill.
We should see some different action.
Yeah, now we're about to hear from the mother of Rob, and this is, we remember a hashtag to many people. It's, a cause, Chloe, to many people. But send it to Mika. This was her child that she watched come into this world. This was her child who she was talking to at the time the police rolled up on him. I mean, you can't even imagine the pain that she must be enduring, knowing that they took her son unjustly from this earth, and now she has to come here and fight instead of grieving just to get simple justice. She is committed to getting the truth, getting accountability, but as she told me this morning, what she wants most is those killers, that murderer, to be brought to justice for shooting her son multiple times in the back. This is emotional. She's going to do the best she can, but just know this was her baby who never got to tell his mother goodbye. She never got to say goodbye to him, even though they were on the phone talking. We will have Tamika Deva King come and talk about her son, Rob.
Hi, my name is Tamika De Avila King, and I'm here standing on behalf of my son, devastated. I'm having unanswered questions. I don't have nothing to go by. And I just want justice. The one who murdered my son, the one who got on the police force last night and spoke, and any of the guards, any of the officers that were there when it happened, because it was not right. I want them off our force because I don't want this to ever happen to another mother. I don't have no answers, and I still haven't saw my baby yet. So I just.
Can you tell them about you being on the phone with them? And talk as loud as you can.
He was so excited the day that he passed. His friend, his best friend was with him during this time. If you see on the footage, he was on the ground with him too. and he just got his car. Those are both of their cars parked in the video, and they were so excited about his friend getting his car, and that's what we were talking about on the phone.
He got a new car.
He just got a new car. They both have twin BMWs. So he just got his car. They were excited, and he was taking. Only reason why he was there was because he was taking the stuff out of his car, putting it inside his friend's car, the stuff that he owned, and they were just so excited. And if you even look on the video, you can see my son dancing because he didn't know what was going on. He was dancing, and I was on the phone, and all I heard after that was gunshots. And he never told me goodbye. He never told me goodbye.
Then you saw the video.
And then I got a call. And I clicked over, and they told me that was my son. And then after that, they had a video. And that's the last I've seen of my son. I just want answers. And I want to know why they would do him like that. This is all his family. My son was well loved.
This is our city. What about here?
He has so much love here.
We with you, Tamika.
Okay.
We with you. Thank you. Justice for Rob. No matter how many times we have to endure this, it's never easy. And I just feel her shaking, trying to express to you all her devastation, her utter devastation at not only them killing her son, but her being on the phone and not being able to say goodbye to him, not being able to say, I love you. Finally, you're going to hear from his father, and then we'll try to take some of your questions. His father, Robert Adams, is very upset. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I said try to do the best you can in expressing yourself versus what any father would want. Somebody who cowardly shoot their son in the back, they would want to go defend their child. And he had to sit and watch while they not only assassinated his son's body in the most cowardly fashion, he then had to watch yesterday they assassinate his character. And so this is not easy for these parents. This is not easy for this family. But they're here standing up to give Rob a voice because they're the only ones who can speak for Rob. So please welcome Mr. Robert to talk about his son.
Thank you guys for all coming out. My name is Mr. Robert Adams. My son, Rob, wasn't a gang member. He was a good kid. To see my son get shot multiple times in the back, what father would want to see, or parent would want to see their kid killed on a video? Not me. I know not none of you guys. It's a hurting situation. Yes, you know, I was out there a long time ago too, and I did want to be, I'm being honest with you guys, I wanted to say I want retaliation, but myself now is with the Lord. Yeah. So all these things now are in God's hands. Right. Mm-hmm. See, San Bernardino been getting away with so much stuff now, and we want justice, and
Justice
we want
for
peace.
Rob. Justice for Rob.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to see no other parent have to go to what I'm going through. I thought my son will be here burying me because I'm old now. But it's just so hurting to me. Y'all just don't understand. I have all my kids. I have 10 kids. And that was one of the most kids I ever had that ever did something for me, that ever brought me Christmas presents, that ever did anything for me out of all my kids. They took that from me. I'm just saying to this day, I thank all you guys for coming out, and God bless.
Justice for Rob. Justice for Rob. Thank you, Queen.
That's my little. That's his
My
sister.
twin.
That's his sister.
Yeah.
That's his sister. Thank you. So we will try to take some of your questions.
Give us. What are the specific questions? I think that's self-evident. Why do they shoot and kill a man for no reason? That's the main question.
Yeah, and I'll just say, not just here in San Bernardino, but whether it's Terrence Crutch in Oklahoma, Walter Scott in South Carolina, Laquan McDonald in Chicago, Illinois. I mean, all over America, they're shooting black men in the back. And the question is why? You know, you had the young man in Akron, Ohio. They shot 60 times. Why do they keep shooting us in the back? And you know, it can't be lost on any of us, Brad, that you see in Highland Park, they took the young white man who shot 12 people alive. They took the young white man in Parkland, Florida, who killed 17 people. They took him alive. They took the young white supremacist Dylan Roof in Charleston, South Carolina. They took him alive. They took the young white supremacist in the Buffalo grocery store killing. They took him alive. But Rob Adams, who killed no one, they shot him multiple times in the back. That is the question. Why do they shoot Rob in the back? Why do they keep shooting black men in the back? What is it so dangerous about a black man running away from you that you feel you have to brutally kill him so his mother and father can't even bear to think about what you did to their child? That is the question.
Haven't had sleep since.
Well, proof you have.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you seen it happen? Have you seen it happen?
Cheryl Dorsey, a former LAPD officer, to comment on these kinds of body worn camera videos. She looked at it. She said,
Chris?
she felt it was justified.
Okay, we're Brad first, and then I'm going to have Chris respond. They found some
I know
officers say
Cheryl
justified.
quite well because I represented her many years ago.
Oh,
And so Cheryl has now created a platform in which she frequently is defending the police. And that's her opinion, and I respect her greatly. She's a wonderful woman, but respectfully, she's wrong here. And
Well, and you know, if we reverse the facts, before, hold on, and the family has a lot of strong opinions about that. I think Brad and Attorney O'Neill would speak to it. But, you know, when would it ever be acceptable for Rob to shoot anybody in the back running away? So if it's not acceptable for us to do it, why is it acceptable for the police to do it? Why do they get to be above the law, to be above any common sense of decency? When I was a little boy, they used to always teach us, when you watch cowboys and robbers, the most cowardly thing you could do is shoot a person in the back. So why do we keep allowing police to be cowards and shoot black people in the back? That would be my question for anybody who says this justified.
And the other thing is, they talk.
They were by themselves.
They talk about.
You want to address it?
Yeah,
Sure.
they talk about Rob running, but anybody who sees a car driving slowly up to them, unmarked, people come out and shoot. Any reasonable person is going to run to try to protect their lives. So that's not an excuse for them to shoot more. He was not pointing a weapon ever at the officers.
Chris, you want? Yeah.
Sure. To answer your specific question, you have to look further back than just the shooting itself. There's so much more information, and I talked earlier about how tactically wrong this was. And when you just take the snippet of the shooting and the allegation of what they believe they saw, look at everything else that added up to it and how they put themselves in a position to do classic dead wrong things. What I would say to them is back off the BS.
All right.
Back off the BS.
Yep.
Back off the BS.
All right. Now, well,
And
we
her
answered your question.
and respectfully, her opinion that's being rendered is one that can actually be bought and paid for at other networks that we're not going to name a network. No, I'm not saying you paid her. What I am saying is that she's actually made it a business to come out and speak about these things. And so with that said, what we'll allow her to do is have her opinion. We're going to let the truth speak for itself. That's her opinion. We're looking at what actually happened. That's all I'll say to that.
Okay.
The faith of a size of a mustard seed is going to work right here with this family. You
Let me
guys
see.
going to know ahead of
Hold
time.
on.
Shabby.
That's what his mother believes. His mother believes it was the phone. We have saw no evidence that he had a gun in his hand. They showed us a gun, and then they said there's something in his hand, and they say, okay, you accept our word that that was the gun.
Was it his gun?
We don't know. The family said they are not aware he had a gun.
So the picture that they have with the red stuff around it.
That's a cell phone.
Let's let Tamika come. Tamika, you would tell them right before you heard bullets what was going on.
He was happy about a car, and that's what was done. He was rejoicing about his friend's car,
And he was talking to you.
and he was talking to me on the phone. It's so much.
Okay. So
So much,
this is hard for her.
Yes.
She was talking on the phone to her son. She heard the gunshots while she was on the phone. She believes that what was in his hand was the cell phone. They want you to believe it was a gun. They need it to be a gun because God helped them if they shot an unarmed man running away.
And it was not a gun. I'll say it again. I have proof on my phone the exact time that they killed my son, that I was on the phone with him. I have proof of that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
And the other thing is,
Just stay right there. Talk right here.
Get in the center. So everybody back up. People can get. Did I ask? Go ahead. Stay. You want to?
the color of the object in his hand is not black from what I see on the video. The so-called gun is black. When you look at the ground after a shooting, if someone's holding a gun in their hands, it's going to fall on the ground and you'd see it. You don't see that in the video. They talked about going and looking at something that was behind his back, in his waistband. If you look at the video from the body-worn camera, that was a money bag. It was not a gun. So I look at the evidence, and the evidence shows that what they're saying was a gun is not accurate.
So we're gonna continue to look harder, and we invite you all to look harder. Y'all, media have a job to do in this. As Dr. King said, we all have a role to do. You all have the best technology in the world. See what he was holding in his hand. They have not demonstrated to us that it was a gun. Maybe you all can look at it and see if it was the phone that he was talking to his mother. You all have children. You see how, when they have phones, how they carry them. One last question.
No, real quickly. Being is that the original video that went viral seems to be leaked. San Bernardino has a history of disappearing people. Lawrence Bender a few years ago. San Bernardino has a history of not going through protocol and trying to make them disappear. Do we know if that was taken? It does not appear so. There was a large delay. There was no evidence anywhere until late Monday.
I'm gonna have you respond in a minute.
Of attempting this, do we know if that's what it looks like? Do we know
Well,
if that's what was happening?
I'm going to have Attorney Brad Gage, who has a history of litigating against San Bernardino, Attorney Jasmine Mines here in Los Angeles, and Vincent Hughes, who actually lives here in Los Angeles, three good lawyers who can speak to those issues of past allegations of cover-up But I,
think that the gun was marked spenders last year.
okay.
So they have a history of these things, and they all seem to be lining up like once again.
So we're gonna address that. But I know one of the reasons that I'm here today is because I promised Tamika and Robert they won't be able to sweep Rob's death under the rug. And we ain't gonna let them sweep Rob's death under the rug. They ain't gonna act like Rob didn't exist. They ain't gonna act like Rob was irrelevant. They're not gonna act like he was insignificant. They're not gonna act like he was an inferior citizen. No, he was a full American citizen, and he deserves the complete due process of the law, and most of all, he deserves justice as any other American would. And that's what we intend to do. He's going to, hold on, Brad is going to address that. Then I'm going to let you get the last question, and then we're going to...
You have a question, too.
Yeah, we're going to get to that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you want to address him?
Yes.
That was my question.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
The first thing we'll do is a governmental claim. I've already drafted one. It should be finalized and sent out tomorrow. As far as cover-ups, I've handled other cases with San Bernardino where there are allegations of cover-ups in the department, and those officers that try to do the right thing and complain about that, they get retaliated against too. So these things go hand in hand. When good officers get treated badly, when they get retaliated against for doing the right things, and when black people get shot simply for being black. And no matter how you slice it, families lose their loved ones. And Ben and I are here, and Chris, and we can do a lot as lawyers, but we can never do one thing. We can never bring Rob back. And so we will always fail in what's the most important thing for the family. We cannot bring back the loved ones. And what we can do is hope that this kind of shenanigans stops and does not harm other families again.
Thank you. And the activist community has made us aware that there will be a rally on a protest Saturday outside the police station.
11 a.m.
Right here, 11 o'clock.
11 a.m.
Because a lot of other people want to be heard, and we're going to give them that opportunity on Saturday. But right now, we wanted Tamika and Robert to be able to tell you about their son from their perspective, and we mostly wanted Tamika to be able to tell you about the last conversation she had with her baby before they shot and killed him like a dog. And Rob, as father, wanted to tell you that his son did not deserve to be shot and killed like that, and that we will fight, and they will not be alone to get justice for Rob. Justice for Rob.
Justice for Rob.
Justice for Rob.
Justice for Rob.
Justice for Rob.
Justice for Rob.
Justice for Rob.
Justice for Rob.
Justice for Rob.
Justice for Rob.
Justice for Rob.
Justice for Rob.
And we'll keep you updated. We'll see everybody Saturday, and we will wait for the police to be fully transparent because we want to know what he was holding. It seems very suspicious that he's talking to his mother, and that's the only thing you see. One thing is in his hand, whether a gun or a cell phone. It's awfully suspicious, and it's awfully suspicious. And I agree with the family. I agree with everybody out there on social media. If he's running away, there's never a justification for shooting somebody in the back. That is what a coward does. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, they shoot so many of us in the back. There are many similarities to many black men who've been shot in the back. Thank you all.
No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace.
Thank you, Najee.